Why Bangladesh seems to be moving farther and farther from India, be it in cricket or be it in real geopolitics. And where is Bangladesh moving towards? Is it away from India or is it towards China? Barely 22 kilometers wide, the Siliguri Corridor, which connects mainland India and northeast India, is now at the center of China and Bangladesh's convergence. Hello everyone, welcome to Vajram and Ravi's Flash News. My name is Shubhangi Singh and today we are going to understand that how Bangladesh is drifting farthest away from India, and the more concerned position here is that it is drifting towards China. So let us try to understand all this from the beginning. So when we talk about what exactly is going on between India and Bangladesh, all of us might be knowing about how cricket is getting difficult for India and Bangladesh. Bangladesh has refuted to come to India, and India is also taking out players from IPL of Bangladesh origin in terms of security concern. This is something we know, but yet another thing which is of much more importance has unfolded. What exactly has happened? Chinese ambassador came to Bangladesh and Bangladesh allowed them to visit the Teesta project area. So this is something that, yes, that gives us a signal into the fact that things are not going great, and other incidents such as targeting of Hindu population in Bangladesh and how things are unfolding. But the most strategically important thing that we cannot miss out on the fact that a Chinese ambassador got to visit Teesta project area. Now, why are we worried so much about Teesta project area and the visit of Chinese ambassador? We are worried about because it is very close to our Siliguri corridor, which is also popularly known as Chicken Neck corridor. So it is only 22 km wide, where Chinese influence, if you look from north, and we are talking about tri-junction near Bhutan, which is made with China, India and Bhutan, that is already in very great proximity to Chicken Neck corridor. Now Bangladesh giving any sort of access through Teesta project area for China to be close to the Siliguri corridor becomes very difficult for India to manage, because Chinese expansionist policies have been always focused on making a settled entry in name of infrastructure, in name of project, and this is a pattern that has been understood. And this strategic recalibration of Bangladesh moving towards China and China looking to enter into India's backyard is not something that India can misread. India needs to read it appropriately and act accordingly. Why? Because as of now, this visit is coming in a time where India and Bangladesh are seeing their most strained relationship. India and Bangladesh have never seen diplomatic relationship gone this bad in recent times. It has been to such a context that anti-India movements in Bangladesh are part of domestic protest, and the domestic political setup is using this as a narrative. Another thing we have to importantly understand that China is funding the Teesta River Comprehensive Management Project. So amidst all this visit highlights that how China's involvement is increasing, and the strategic sensitivity that I was talking about. This is about our most critical land corridor, that is Siliguri corridor. So for India, this concern is not just about our corridor, it is something related to security, diplomacy and also regional balance. Now to understand this in detail, let us straight away move to see Siliguri corridor. So when we are looking at Siliguri corridor, you can clearly see here that this is a 22 kilometer wide corridor. This is a 22 kilometer wide corridor. It shares land border with Bangladesh, it shares land border with Nepal, and the tri-junction that I was talking about lies right here with Bhutan, Sikkim and we have Assam here present. So again, China's presence from here and here makes it dangerous. So when we are talking about Siliguri corridor, it is very important for us to establish the fact When we are talking about mainland India, it connects mainland India with the 8 states which are present here. So, all sorts of connectivity, be it for trade, be it for energy, be it for pipelines, be it for movement of people, is coming through this corridor only. And if this corridor is compromised at all, then we have a huge chunk of our nation targeted in terms of security. That means this particular corridor is absolutely important for national integration and also our internal security. And this is already a vulnerable spot because of the proximity, as I highlighted right here. So, any sort of external factor visibility exposes us in terms of national integration also and internal security. And that is why this is one of the most important land corridors for India. And in this context, we will be understanding the other dimensions around it, such as why are we so worried about this Teesta River management project. So, when we are talking about Teesta River, if you see in this first map here, you will be able to clearly see from Sikkim and then after Assam, closely touching Assam, it enters into Bangladesh to join Brahmaputra, which is named by which goes by the name Jamuna in Bangladesh. In this particular map, you will be able to see a much more clearer picture of Teesta, and you will also be understanding that this river is a transboundary river. It is being shared by 2 countries. And Teesta also remains one of the biggest conflict point between India, because the resolution of water distribution could never come to a conclusion. Now, in this context, when we are talking about the Teesta River and entry of an external player for the management of Teesta project area, Teesta River management project, this is where things go worsen. If India could have resolved this issue, then probably China would not have got entry there. But this time, India and Bangladesh seeing the most strained relation, and entry of China through this particular water project shows that the unresolved issues can be a vacuum or an inlet for external powers to come in. Now, the absence of a water sharing agreement between India and Bangladesh is the core issue here, and Teesta remains one of the most important rivers for this very region, not just for Bangladesh, where it is the lifeline of the northern districts where it passes through. It supports agriculture, it supports flood control and rural livelihoods. But it is equally important for India also, because it is very crucial for irrigation, for the drinking water and riverine ecology, especially for the state of West Bengal. I am pointing towards northern West Bengal and Sikkim region. And if we talk about the Teesta water sharing agreement and the arrangement that could have been facilitated between India and Bangladesh, that has been stalled because of the resistance from the West Bengal government. Now, this is the exact vacuum that I was talking about, and this has given entry to China in this particular context. Now, because of this only, we need to understand that what exactly role China can play in Teesta project and how it is a threat. When we are talking about China's role, especially with this Teesta project, that is Teesta River Comprehensive Management and Restoration Project, it is not that they have just begun. The technical assessment is already going, and Beijing is very ready to start the implementation and their participation immediately. And this is China's regular pattern. I have already pointed that out, that China looks to enter especially through sensitive river systems and associated infrastructure. This is not the first time that China is doing this. China has previously done this in Mekong Basin. Can you tell me in the comment section, where is the Mekong River located in Asian continent? If we are looking for more examples, we can see it especially in Pakistan, where China is the permanent ally. We have seen the establishment of China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Then Nepal hydropower is also an example where China decides to get an entry through infrastructure related projects, and especially the sensitive where there is some sort of conflict. India and Nepal conflict over border arrangement, Lipu Lake area, that has always been contentious. Nepal has been in a little anti-India mood, and again China has used that vacuum. So China is going for water diplomacy. This is a key term that you guys can mark and use also, water diplomacy, and they are using this as a strategic leverage to get whatever they want. One of the biggest dam in the world China is building near Arunachal Pradesh, and that is again a form of water diplomacy where water will be used to get the advantages they want. Other than that, it is being also used as a long-term influence tool. So if China enters into this arrangement with Bangladesh, then Bangladesh would be easily sided with China, and China's influence over Bangladesh would be way more, and we can already see the influence of India fading at the given point of time. And as of now, because of this very anti-India sentiment, we are seeing that Bangladesh is opening its door especially since 2024 for China, because we are seeing the transition government, interim government under Muhammad Yunus. Can you tell me in which category Muhammad Yunus already holds a Nobel Prize? And this transition and this interim government is already showing that there is some strategic recalibration happening from Bangladesh's end. For example, if you talk about 2025 only, we saw that Beijing was invited to build economic infrastructure by Bangladesh. It called Bangladesh, Beijing went ahead and called Bangladesh only guardian of the ocean. The ocean which is named after India, Indian Ocean. China said that Bangladesh is the only guardian of ocean. So in this context, you get to see that China is ready to fuel the fire between India and Bangladesh, and it is already provoking sentiments against India. For example, China also called India's northeast as landlocked. Furthermore, recent protests, the attacks on Hindu community, the attacks on Indian diplomatic facilities, the targeting of Indian government by Bangladesh clearly shows that the movement is on the other side. And in this context, China found an opportunity, and that is why the Chinese envoy showed direct public support to Bangladesh's a democratic transition. That means if India is not there, no worries, we are here. And they are eager to engage in terms of infrastructure and healthcare projects, whichever place that gives them an entry into Bangladesh. But the question here is, why Bangladesh is being targeted by China? That why China wants entry here. China wants entry here for multiple reasons, but Bangladesh also might allow because there is lot in store for them. So what is in store for both of these countries? Let us look into that. So when we are talking about China, China clearly knows that if we are friends with Bangladesh, we will have access to Bay of Bengal, which we do not have as of now. We will get to counterbalance India's presence in Indian Ocean. We will be able to target India's Act East policy, India's Andaman Nicobar maritime posture, the kind of naval presence that they are trying to maintain. This will be easily countered, and that is why they will have the advantage of maritime access, they will have the advantage of surveillance across Indian Ocean, and also they will make sure that there is dependence on Bangladesh, dependence of Bangladesh on loans and projects, so that there is no chance that Bangladesh goes out of picture for China ever. And this is basically part of China's bigger strategy, where they are planning to take on Indian Ocean and also South Asia in terms of influence, in terms of stature, and in terms of access and presence as well. Now when we talk about Bangladesh's end, that what does Bangladesh get, we will be able to understand that when we are looking at India's constraints. Bangladesh is only looking to fill up the vacuum. Why the vacuum is created? Because India has not been able to deliver on certain terms. And that shows us that India's constraints, India's limitations are the place where Bangladesh needs help and China is trying to come through. So in this context, first limitation is the stalled project that is happening because of the West Bengal government. Second issue is coming in terms of slower project execution. As compared to China, we are slow in terms of delivery of the infrastructure, we are slow in terms of funding of the infrastructure, and both gives an edge to China. They are there with faster funding, faster execution, no delays, no stallation. And that is why Bangladesh believes that India is not a reliable partner. They are hesitant, they are delayed, they are bureaucratic, and they are constrained in resources. So all in all, what it is ending up in? It is ending in erosion of trust and the traditional relationship which Bangladesh started with India back in 1971, that is going out of the picture. So as of now, it is not just about cricket, it is not just about the federal politics, it is about the real geopolitics in which we are seeing Bangladesh moving away and away. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comment section. That was all from my side. Thank you so much.